Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Keith and I'm sure glad you stopped by today. In today's video, we're going to break down the 2-zone grilling technique. And let me tell you, this is a versatile, foundational, fundamental technique. So whether you're a seasoned veteran on the grill or a beginner, I'm confident if you get this technique and you practice what we talk about today, this can definitely help you level up your grilling game. If that sounds good to you, let's dive in. So for today's grilling session, we're going to be grilling up some chicken wings. So I've already got the chicken wings seasoned. They're sitting on the counter. I rubbed them down with some olive oil, used some Lowry seasoned salt, and also used some Body of Complete. And in addition to getting the meat seasoned, I've already got our chimneys going. We're going with our standard 2 chimney starters today. So already set up, waiting on the coals to get ready. So while the coals get ready, let's give you an overview of the 2-zone technique. So what the 2-zone technique is that we are going to separate our grill into 2 zones. Zone number 1 is going to have our charcoal. Zone number 2 is not going to have our charcoal. And what this allows us to do is that from this one technique, we can now cook our meat direct, we can go indirect, and we can smoke. So that's the versatility of this technique. So once these coals get ready, I'm going to put the meat on the grill and I'll show you that. Now, setup, whenever you put your coals, whenever you use this technique, you want to make sure you position your coals to be opposite your exhaust stack. On my Char-Griller, my exhaust stack is on the left side. So we're going to position those coals to be on the right side. If you have a kettle grill or a grill with a removable lid, you'll just simply rotate your lid to be on the opposite side of your coals, right? Because you want that smoke and that flavor and all that goodness to have to travel across the meat, across the entire grill before it goes out the exhaust vent. So once you get your grill set up like this, this is called the 2-zone technique. And again, once we get into it, you're going to see that from this one technique, we can cook direct, indirect, and we can smoke. And the beauty of it is you don't have to do it in that order. You can do it in whatever order you want to. You could do a reverse sear, meaning you can smoke first and do the sear at the very end. You are only limited by your creativity at this point, right? About what you want to do. So when these coals get ready, I'll see you on the grill and then we'll start to get into this 2-zone technique. So as you can see here, our coals are ready. They're ready to go. So like I mentioned to you before, I'm going to pour these coals out and I'm going to put them on the right side of my grill. So I'm going to move the coals around a little bit just to make sure that I pretty much split my grill in half. So we're going to half of the grill will be zone 1 and half will be zone number 2. And now once I get my grill split, I'm going to take all my grates and just stack them on top of the coals. Since we're set up for 2 zones and I know I got to clean this grill, let's go ahead and put all the grates in zone number 1 so we can get this grill up to temperature, and then we can come back and clean our grates. And also remember, the side you put your coals on, make sure they are opposite your chimney stack. So let's let this grill get up to temperature and we'll come back and get it clean. So first thing I want to do as we put this meat on the grill, first step, we're going to go direct action. So that means we're going to be putting these chicken wings directly over the coals. I want to do that from jump because I want to lock in that smoky, intense charcoal flavor that can only be imparted upon this meat when it's sitting directly over the coals. I want to lock in a nice sear, and I also want the skin to start to caramelize a little bit. Caramelize this skin, so we're going to go direct heat first on this meat, but again, it's up to you to order and how you want to do it. This approach is just so versatile. That's really the point I want to convey to you. Configuring your grill like this with 2 zones allows you to just leverage all 3 techniques: indirect, direct, and smoking. Go ahead and get this meat on here quick, y'all. We're gonna cook this direct first. Just a few minutes on each side. Try to lock in that sear. The meat minutes on the grill. Let's get this closed. It's been a couple minutes. Now we're right back in here just to get our flip on here. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Nice. That's what I like in my wing. I like a nice texture. Don't like a pale wing. And this direct action from the very beginning, going direct like this, is just helping us to build up our texture. Make sure we get started off right, so I definitely like that. Yep. Perfect. I can smell that bodega, that body, excuse me, I can smell that body of seasoning coming through. I love it. I love what I'm seeing here, y'all. Let's go another 2 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes, and we'll be right back. It's been about 2 to 3 minutes. Let's come back in. Now it's time to go indirect. So let's move our chicken now to zone number 2. This is the zone that does not have the coals. Once I move the chicken to zone number 2, I'm also going to take advantage of another opportunity to add some additional flavor. So I'm going to use my grill grate lifter. Let's get these grates moved up. And I'm going to add 2 chunks. I'm adding 2 chunks of hickory, but you can add the hardwood of your choice. 2 chunks of hickory. And that's going to give us that nice smoky flavor that hickory imparts upon this meat. Now, before I close the lid, I want to see these hickory chunks break out into a flame. That way, that ensures that we get a nice clean smoke circulating in this grill. Now, once we see the hickory chunks break out into a flame, let's close our lid. So we've just got our meat positioned in zone number 2. In addition to going indirect, we're also smoking our meat as well. And right now, I just wanted to talk to you while our meat is cooking. We'll probably let it go 30 minutes or so, and then we'll come back and check it. Is to really think about how versatile and powerful this technique is. From one technique, we're going direct. What does direct give us again? It's going to give us the searing. It's going to start building up our texture. It's going to give us that intense smoky flavor that can only be imparted upon this meat with sitting over those coals. We get that benefit. And number 2, we get indirect. We can go indirect. And with indirect, it's almost like you're cooking in an oven. Have you ever oven roasted something and you get that nice distribution of temperature? That's what that direct action gives you. And it gives you a different type of texture. It gives you a different type of taste. So we're adding yet another dimension to this meat, and it's almost impossible to burn when you go indirect. So we get that benefit. And thirdly, we're also smoking the meat, right? We set that hickory chunk over there just enough to give a nice smoke flavor, but not too intense, not to the point to where it overpowers the meat. So with each one of those techniques, right, each one of those methods, we're adding additional flavor. Man, and I can't wait to taste this. Guys, I really do believe this is going to be like an explosion that happens in your mouth. You know what I mean? You know how when somebody bites into something and they try to pick it apart, try to guess how you seasoned it, what you did to it. You try this method and challenge somebody without knowing what they did, what you did to the meat, to try to figure out what you did to it. Good luck to them trying to figure out, because we're doing so much that we're adding so many dimensions to it that this taste is not only going to be an explosion, but it's going to be complex as well. So again, just wanted to give you the significance of this technique. So yeah, that's the benefit of this technique, and that's how it can help you level up your game by adding those different dimensions to the flavor profile of the food you're grilling. So it's been about 30 minutes since we moved our chicken to zone 2. Temperature gauge is showing 440 degrees. So let's just go in and check it out. Yeah, as we get into this, I really like what I see. I like the color. I like the texture that we're building up. I can see the evidence of the smoke. This chicken has absorbed that nice hickory smoke very well. So let's go ahead and get this flipped. And as I flip these pieces, I'm just looking at that backside, and I want the backside of that meat to get a little bit more color. I don't want it to be pale. Some of these look a little too pale for me. So we need to go another 30 minutes at least and let this get a little bit more color. And I'm also looking at moving these around. We have had some that have been a little closer to the charcoal, so let's use this opportunity to move it around. And once we do all this, let's get this lid closed so we can cook a bit more. Well, it hasn't been quite 30 minutes. I let this meat go for about 15-20 minutes. Now I'm gonna go back in and just check the backside color here after we went in the first time. And yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing. That color is starting to richen up a little bit. It's not as pale. But one thing I wanna do, since we're set up for this 2-zone technique, let's try to get a bit more color. Let's take these wings and let's go and put them on zone number 1. So let's go back to direct. Since we're set up with this technique, we can do that. So I'm going to put these backside of these wings straight right here on this direct heat and give them an opportunity to try to get a bit more color before we pull them off. I want a little bit more color on this backside, so what I'm simply going to do is just go direct now. I'm going to take my meat, set it over here. And those pieces that I want the backside to get a little bit more color, let's just go direct. So I'm just simply going over here and I'm going direct. So just like that, we're swapping between indirect and direct. And again, taking full advantage of this 2-zone technique. So we're gonna close this lid and let it go for just a few minutes to get some nice color on the backside of those wings. So we've got the meat going direct just to try to get a little bit more color on that backside. But after this, so we're gonna go ahead and pull them. So as I pull this meat off, I'll meet you inside and we're gonna do a taste test and really dive into these wings and try to break down this taste of this 2-zone technique. Hold on and we'll be right back. Awesome, we're coming back in, gang, just to give our wings a bit more color on that backside. I'm just moving them over here for a thumbnail. Total cook time today is going to be probably right at an hour if you count the time we went direct. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get this meat off the grill. I'll give you all a view of it. See that right there? Nice color. Oh yeah. Backside crisp up real nicely. Alright guys, I'm right here at the table. Let's get into these wings. So that's a view of how we looking, guys. 2-zone technique. Direct, indirect, and smoked. Let's get into it. Pull away. You want it real tender. Nice pull away. Just like that. I'm gonna go in first on this this drumette. Man, that's delicious. I've been doing a lot of direct grilling here lately, and you guys know that if you follow the channel. So when going back to this 2-zone and going indirect, it's really making me revisit those different flavors and really appreciate what different techniques can do for you and how that can stack additional dimensions into your flavor profile of your meat and also the texture. Super tender. Taste that hickory. I can taste the char, you know what I mean, from the direct, and the texture. But the meat is just so flavorful. Golly. It is so flavorful. Imagine a combination of like an oven roasted wing, a wing that's been on the grill, and then smoked. Right? It's hard to even imagine. You just gonna have to make this for yourself and try it and taste it. Believe me, you will not be disappointed. And then the seasonings we put in there is just an explosion of flavor. So I clean this drumette out. Let me go in on this flat now, y'all. Going in on the flat. Y'all see that color? Oh man, that skin is awesome. My goodness, that skin is awesome. The smoke flavor is not overpowering. It's just enough with the amount of hickory we put on there. You don't have to use hickory. Use your own wood that you like. Juicy, y'all. Y'all, I'm telling you, try that 2-zone technique. Not just wings, pork chops, chicken, whatever you want to do. But remember the versatility of that technique. With that one technique, we went direct, indirect, and smoked. So definitely give this technique a try and let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, hit that subscribe button and click that bell so anytime we drop a new video, you'll be the first to know. Hit that like button and leave me some comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you're interested in any of the products we used in today's video, we'll leave some links down below. Hope you have an awesome day, and thanks for watching.